Hello guys, this is my first video on World of Tanks, and today, as you can see, I'll be showing you this thing, the TOG 2 Tier 6 Premium British Heavy Tank. Now, as you can see by here, it's a pretty long tank. It's actually relatively good. First, this thing has a premium matchmaking system, so that all the battles it goes into, it will only be one tier less or top tier. Now, let me show you first the stats of this tank, and then let's go over the gameplay, but that will be in another episode. Now, hit points 1,400. For a tier 6 heavy tank, this is amazing. Like the KV-1S Russian tier 6 heavy tank, it only has 810, so it's almost 2 times as much hit points as any tier 6 heavy tank. Now, it's really heavy. As you can tell just by looking at it, this thing is a monster. Like, you do not want to be ramming this. And because of that, it's slow. 600 engine power, not good. Therefore, it leads to a speed limit of 14 kilometers per hour. The second slowest tank in the game, I believe. If it's not, please correct me in the comments. Now, this thing, because it's 14 kilometers per hour, you cannot go ramming, even if you have 83 tons. You know, maybe you can score off 1 damage or something on a tiny tank, but at full speed, this thing cannot ram. Your only hope of ramming is other people ramming into you, which, surprisingly enough, a Stug 3 tried to ram into a 83-ton tank. Let me just see how much the Stug 3 weighs. Now, 22 pounds, tons, I'm sorry. 22 tons compared to 83. So, yeah, you just know how that went. You had a really bad day. Now, traverse speed also quite bad. A big tank can't traverse that well. Now, the armor won't stop any shells. Unless it's a tier 5, it can't really do anything. Because this armor, even though it's slightly sloped, it's only 76 millimeters. It cannot do anything. Especially against tier 6 heavies or tank destroyers. This thing is defenseless. Now, its side armor is about the same. You can actually go side scraping, because I have actually successfully side scraped with the side armor really well. Now, the back armor, it's alright, but it's really big sloping. But most of the times, people won't aim for over here. Most likely, they'll just aim in the big slab over here, or in the front if you're aiming at it. Now, turret armor also isn't that good. It can't really take anything in. Same as the hull, not that much good armor. TOG 2, you can't rely on the armor unless you side scrape, which sometimes also is not very well. Now, let's go into the gun. Now, this gun is quite special. 76 caliber. It has a rate of fire of 12 rounds per minute and an average penetration of 171. That's about the same, a little bit lower, from a KV-1S tier 6 Russian tank, heavy tank, I'm sorry. Now, that thing is notorious for its big 122 massive Russian derp. Now, that thing is big. It can one-shot a lot of tier 4s, and you just gotta be careful of that. But this gun, it's actually not that bad. It's 171 millimeters penetration, almost the exact same as KBYS, and it's still a tier 6 tank destroyer. I'm sorry, why do I keep on saying tank destroyer? Actually, it's a heavy tank. Alright, it's a heavy tank. Now, its damage is actually really well. This thing can fire and deal a lot of damage. 12 rounds per minute with 150 damage per shot can obliterate any tier 6 in moments. Now, along with this good penetration, good alpha damage for tier 6, and this amazing rate of fire, this gun can be devastating to any target. Now, it's actually really accurate, surprisingly. Just looking at this huge tank here. And it's actually quite accurate, and the aim time is about average. Now, this gun and the hit points are basically what this tank is mainly used for. This tank is really good, and those are the two strong points. The weaknesses, of course, is its speed and armor. Cannot do any of that. If you're going to buy this tank for the speed or armor, I'm sorry, you have to research more about World of Tanks. Now, let's look at the view range and signal range. View range 360 meters. That's actually not bad for a tier 6 heavy tank. Now, the signal range, however, does suffer a little bit, but also it's not that bad. Even though sometimes it lacks the signal range, it's not a really big problem. Now, what I fitted into my TOG 2 was a medium tank gun rammer, which even faster, it makes the rate of fire faster, which in turn, the average damage per minute goes up a lot. Now, with this buff, this tank can do a lot more. Not only that, but I equipped a super heavy spotlighter, and you will be needing this, for this huge slow target will be basically a feeding nest for artillery. You're gonna need this because or else you're just gonna die. Like, this thing saves 50% of the damage from splash, and when people are done enough, they ram you and you take 50% less damage. Now also, I equipped a gun lane drive just because 2.3 aiming time is not the best at tier 6, and sometimes it suffers a little bit. So, overall, I got what I equipped my TOG 2 with is only for my personal experience. But mainly, this is what you may want to put on the TOG 2, for it strengthens its strengths, I guess. Now, for ammo, this is what I got. APCR in case I get into some tough tier 7s, such as an AT-7 or something like that. And HE for when I'm defending the base, or something like that. Now, this is all there is to this tank for now. I'll be posting another video soon about gameplay in a TOG 2, because Bandicam will only allow me to do 10 minutes of recording. So, yeah. Now, I don't have enough time for a battle. So, as you can see, this is a really nice tank. I equipped camo onto it just because it looks cool, but also because it gives a buff to the camouflage of this tank. Even though this is such a big target, I don't think camouflage would help. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting, or you learned something for it. If you did, please like and subscribe. I will be posting more, hopefully, and you will be getting more of these types of videos and tank reviews of the World of Tanks.